This video is a short tutorial on how combat works in Fantasy Flight Games Star Wars Edge of the Empire, trademarked. Some of these steps may seem familiar to you, however there are enough variations and changes that it does warrant a short summary. Setting up. The players and the GM roll initiative. The major difference here is that the GM notes the results of each check and ranks them in order from highest number of successes to the lowest. If two checks are tied, the check with more advantages is ranked higher. If a player character and an NPC are still tied, the player character is ranked higher. This is the initiative order. Once the GM has determined the initiative order, he notes which results were generated by player characters and which results were generated by the NPCs. The results generated by player characters become player character initiative slots. The results generated by NPCs become NPC initiative slots. Beginning at the top of the round, the players and GM fill each initiative slot one at a time with character turn. If the initiative slot is a player character initiative slot, then the players agree on one player character to fill the slot from among the player characters who have not acted yet. That player character then takes this turn. If the initiative slot is an NPC slot, then the GM chooses one NPC to fill the slot from among the NPCs who have not yet acted. That NPC then takes its turn. This locks the initiative order for the entire encounter. A typical turn would possess an action, maneuver, and as many incidental activities as necessary. An incidental activity is something that can be done quickly and with minimal effort. Think of a free action. Some examples include speaking to another character, dropping an item held in one's hands, releasing someone the character is holding, minor movements such as shifting position, peeking around a corner, or looking behind a person. Maneuvers are activities that aren't complex enough to warrant a skill check, but which still involve time and effort on the part of the character. Characters are allowed one maneuver during their turn, and certain circumstances may allow them a second maneuver as well. Maneuvers may include aiming a weapon, moving one range band closer or farther away from an enemy, opening a door, diving behind cover, standing up. Actions are important activities that are vital to a character's accomplishments of a goal. Each character may normally only perform one action during his turn, and it will likely be the most important activity he undertakes that turn. Actions almost always involve performing a skill check, although certain characters' abilities may require using an action to activate them. The following are some examples of actions: slicing a computer, unlocking a locked door, firing a weapon, punching or grappling an opponent, instructing allies with a series of orders, performing first aid on an ally, sneaking up on a vigilant foe, or climbing a cliff. A note on range bands. There are 4: short, medium, long, and very long. This Star Wars role-playing game uses abstract methods when it comes to range finding. The player and the GM must agree on what range band you are currently on in reference to your target. For example, Tandy is considered very long, away from the pirate, while Harold is considered short. There exists one final range band, as you can see. Abba is currently right next to a target, which is engaged, which means you are within hand's reach of your target. Certain abilities require you to be engaged with your target, giving a comrade a stim pack, slashing someone with a saber, or attempting to strangle someone quietly. Wrapping up the summary, going on to combat. Let's look at a weapon. First, you should look at the weapon's range. You must be within this range to fire your weapon. Now choose a target and blast away. Before you make your roll, remember to always check your dice pool at the top of your sheet. The GM will tell you what to roll against, and you can manually add the difficulty dice if you so choose. To resolve the attack, you have to make sure you have more successes than failures. Successes are not cumulative. However, advantages and triumphs are. Look at the critical rating of your weapon. You need that many advantages to score a critical hit. As a rule, minions are instantly killed upon receiving a critical hit. All other targets receive a critical injury. That's the basic of combat. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask away. But I want to touch on one final thing, which is the destiny pool. To determine the current destiny pool, at the beginning of each game session, each player with a player character rolls one force die. The results of the force die are tallied to become the starting destiny pool for that entire session. For example, if a player rolls one light side symbol, he adds one light side destiny point to the session's destiny pool. If a player rolls two dark side symbols, he adds two dark side destiny points to the destiny pool. When a player spends a light side destiny point, it is converted into a dark side destiny point after the current action is resolved. When the GM spends a dark side destiny point, it is then converted into a light side destiny point in that very same fashion. Conversion always takes place at the end of the action during which the destiny point was used, preventing players or GMs from immediately spending a just converted destiny point. Destiny is a powerful resource, but it is limited. A player can only spend one light side destiny point during a single action, and so should think carefully about how they want to use their destiny before doing so. The GM likewise is limited to spending one dark side point per action. You could spend your light side points on the following actions. A player may spend one destiny point to upgrade his starting dice pool by one step. This refers to upgrading an ability die into a superior proficiency die, which means upgrading a green to a yellow. A single player may spend one light side destiny point to upgrade the difficulty in any NPC's skill check by one step. This refers to upgrading the difficulty die into the more potent challenge die, i.e. a purple to a red. Many powerful talents allow characters to spend destiny points for various effects. Destiny can also be used by the players to introduce facts and additional context directly into the narrative. Normally the GM does this by managing and directing the story, but this use of destiny points provides the players with a means to make contributions as well. Feel free to use them however you wish and surprise me.